Hi, welcome to Gemini Star Spiritual Wellness. Thank you for joining me today. I'm excited that you're here. We're going to do our weekly reading for the week coming up, so May 18th through the 24th. So I hope this past weekend has been good for you. We're going to look and see what the energies are for this week coming up. It's hard to believe that it's almost the end of May coming up soon. We're already at the halfway point. I feel like this month is coming up so fast. So we're coming to the end of Taurus season and getting ready to go into Gemini season. So once again, happy birthday to any Taurians out there that had their birthday during the Taurus season. So let's see what's going on with the energies for this week coming up, the 18th through the 24th. This is a collective reading, so that means everybody that's watching. So it's for the whole collective. So take what resonates and then leave what doesn't. 'Cause some things might not resonate with you, some things will. It just depends because there's going to be a lot of people watching this. So it's for the whole collective. So let's see what kind of energies we have coming up. It's been really interesting since I started doing these weekly reads to kind of see how the energies, go from week to week and then, adding it with the monthly and mid-monthly, well, beginning of the month and mid-monthly readings. It's been kind of interesting to see all the energies come up. So one more shuffle. I like to shuffle well before we get started. So let's see what's going on. One more time. Okay. I'm anxious to see what the energies are going to be for this week coming up. All right, so let's see. So we've got the Nine of Wands, the Two of Wands, Page of Swords, Justice, Page of Wands, lots of wand energy here. Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands. Wow. Okay, we have a lot of wand energy here. All right, so let's see what's going on here. So, in the past, coming into this week, I see some, I don't want to say betrayal, but gossip innuendo that's been going on, but it could be betrayal. Or it could just be betrayal in a sense of information that you thought was true that wasn't, and feeling betrayed by that. But also, kind of gossiping going on, and innuendo. So things kind of secret too. I see that happening in the past, coming into this week, or has been happening. But the interesting thing about it is going into this week, as a collective, we're coming to the of end of like a cycle, end of a difficult period. And if you look at this gentleman, he's all banged up and he's got, you know, you know, stuff on his wounds. He's wrapped up. So he looks kind of, battered and beat up. So like he's been through a battle. So I think as a collective, we kind of feel like we've been through a battle and we're coming to the end of the cycle. I know one of the previous readings, I did a 10 of Wands. I don't know if it was the mid-month reading or last week's weekly reading, coming to the end of a cycle. And I feel like we're looking at our options this week coming up. We're looking at our options and kind of weighing out which way we want to go with a decision or how we feel about something, weighing our options about it. But there's definitely going to be, justice going on, and the appearance of justice happening. And that would make sense because in the past we've had that, kind of betrayal. But I don't think, I keep feeling it's more betrayal like information that you didn't know about, or misinformation that wasn't true, information wasn't true, or information that was missing. Um, but I feel like, that's kind of what's going has been going on in the past. And like I said, it could be gossip and innuendo with that too. Could be like conversations going on behind your back, or that you didn't know about and you're becoming aware of it. But I feel like in more of a collective sense, globally, I feel like it's like information that was maybe kept from us or we didn't know about, and we're finding out about it, but we're coming to the end of the cycle of feeling beat up and bruised, and we're just kind of exhausted. You're coming to the end of it, like a warrior coming out of the battle, and we are looking at our options. So as that information comes out, we're coming to the end of the feeling beaten up and bruised, coming to the end of that battle, but looking at options moving forward. How do we want to proceed? But there's going to be an element of justice to it. So I think the information that's going to come out is going to be positive. It's going to it's going to bring justice to things, or shed positive justice light on things that were probably going on behind the scenes that we didn't know about, um and things going on behind our back we didn't know about. But there's definitely an element of justice to it, so it's going to be positive, um, kind of like a resolution to it. So positive justice coming out about it. And going forward, we have the Page of Wands. So I feel like there's going to be the very beginning of some like passionate new beginnings, a very beginning of things, very beginning of moving forward with some passion. And that makes sense because this week we've got the Two of Wands, sorry, Two of Wands, looking at our options, trying to make a decision, see which way we want to go. And then I assume when we make that decision as a collective and we're moving forward with, and it's just baby steps. It's like a small step forward, the very beginning of something. Um, that on that path, whatever we choose to take, and it in a passionate new beginning. But I feel like with the justice, it's going to be a passionate new beginning for the better, for righteousness, for positive, for righteousness to be served, for high vibrational. I'm talking about positive, loving outcome. So things that in the past that have not been good will be done away with, and information will be, done. Like we'll have information come out to be done away with, and then positive new beginning moving forward. So what I mean is it's going to be positive, high vibrational movement forward. The Ace of Wands and Queen of Wands is the advice from the universe about this. And so definitely new beginnings. And even though we're taking just a baby step in the near future for that new beginning, but it's going to be open up to something much more. So it's going to open up to a passionate new beginning in as a collective, globally, worldly, new beginning in different things. Different ways of systems living, different positive things coming in that's going to make our life a lot more better, more positive, more higher vibrational. And I definitely feel that they'll be using our intuition for that. So your intuition's going to grow as well. So these new beginnings are going to come in over time. We're just at the very beginning with this Page of Wands, but it's going to be, as time goes on over the next couple months through the end of the year into next year, it's like our intuition's going to grow with these new beginnings in a positive way, and it's going to get stronger, which is going to help us to guide us on the path that we chose. And I do feel like we'll continue to see justice. It might start this week coming up, but I feel like it's going to be a recurring theme throughout the year going into next year as well. But we'll definitely see some of that this week coming up. And yeah, definitely the Queen of Wands. I'm feeling definitely intuition, um, and being in basically being like in that, like kind of a sovereign energy about ourselves. So yes, using our intuition and following it, and it's growing, but it's growing to help us become who we really are, come into our power, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like a queen, she's sovereign, she has her own power. And I see that see us coming into that, using our intuition and coming into our power as, as like a queen would be, a sovereign queen. So that's what I see coming up for this week. So very quite interesting. Interesting week, but but it's going to be positive. So even if it doesn't feel that way right now, just be optimistic and don't feel negative about it or feel down about it, because it's gonna get better. I know sometimes when you're in the middle of something, it doesn't feel that way. But we've been through a lot as a collective over the last couple years. And that's what this guy's representing. We've been through a lot. We feel like we've been through a battle or a war. In fact, and we're bruised and beat up and we got the bandages on. But I do feel like it is going to shift for the better, and that justice is going to come in and just change things, and we are going to have justice, and we are going to be able to move forward with good options that it's going to benefit everybody as a collective. And I do feel like with that intuition and that queen coming into that sovereign power of ourselves, um, I do feel in our intuition growing, but I do feel like there's going to be a lot of love. Like you're going to see over the rest of this year a lot of love in the collective. People, it's like their hearts are going to grow. Unconditional love is going to really be a strong focus coming up, and we're really going to go into that type of energy more and more as time goes on, which is good. I mean, it's just going to bring positive loving changes to the world, and that's what we want. So that's exciting. This is exciting times. I know it doesn't always feel like it can be very stressful right now, but it is exciting times. And everybody on the earth right now that's experiencing this time, it's quite an honor actually to be here on the earth at this time, and to be a part of this transition that's going on, with the energy and going into the higher vibrational earth. And we might not always feel that way every day when we're having, when it's really stressful and it's all this crazy stuff's going on, but we really are, definitely in a wonderful time to be upon the earth, even though we might not see that right at the moment. But I think we will. I think we will see that sooner than later. And I think that that loving energy growing around the planet is just going to make things so much better. But that's what I see. So I'm going to do a quick recap, and then I'll end the reading. But like I said, in the past, there's been some betrayal, but it could be us, finding, like in the past, we found out betrayal or things that were kept from us, information, things going on behind our back, gossip, people talking behind our back, or innuendo, things like that. But it's, negative, not positive, is what I'm feeling. And that's this week coming up. I definitely feel like we're the soldiers who've been through that war, as I talked about, and that is us as a collective. That's how we're kind of feeling. And we're looking at in this situation, moving forward into two options, and trying to decide, what options we want. What do we want to make happen? What's our plan moving forward? But there's definitely an element of justice to all this for the week coming up. So we might hear about justice taking place, globally on a big scale. Um, Rights, wrongs being made right is kind of what I feel. So it's going to be justice in a positive way to basically turn about wrongs that have happened, to make them positive, to fix it. And then in the future, we got, basically baby steps of new beginnings, passionate new beginnings. But I don't mean so much passionate like romance. I mean passionate like, we're passionate about the future, passionate about these new systems, passionate about making change and moving forward. That's what I mean by passionate in this instance. But yes, definitely passion, new beginning, but just a baby step. Like we're taking a little step forward in the near future. And, it's funny because when I say near future, when you're doing tarot, it's like near future for some people can be, well, in a couple weeks, but time is doesn't exist for the universe like it does for us. So sometimes when they say soon, it can be within a year, because it's a different timing. um but also, like, new positive beginnings coming in down the road. And so the universe is, I feel like the universe is like, hang in there, we've got these positive new things coming in, positive new beginnings on the planet, and our intuition's gonna grow, and we're gonna basically, you know, be like a queen and be in our sovereign power and in the fact of we're independent in our sovereign power. We're like a queen. Nobody tells us what to do. We're not, we're following our heart. We're following, what's right. And we're being, being a queen and not being like low vibrational, but up vibrational and being in our power is what I mean, but in a positive way. So that's what I see. That was a quick recap. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm glad you're here. Make sure that you like and subscribe because when you subscribe, you'll get future videos I put out. You'll know about it. But also when you hit the like button, it shoots it out to everybody that might be interested, shoots it out so people might see it that need to see this video. So thank you again. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.